Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We were just heading out to check on the herd, so we wanted to take this opportunity to kind of go over some of the questions that we've been seeing in the comments box of the videos. First off, I just would like to say that we've been having a lot of problems with our Wi-Fi lately, so we haven't been able to get our videos up in a timely manner like we wanted to. But the good news is that there is a new fiber optic cable being put in, and they're right near our house now. They're right around the corner, and we're hoping that they'll be to our house and hooked up within a week or two. So then we'll be able to get the videos up faster and more timely that we want. So one of the most questions we've been having lately is, why do we put the two bulls together? The reason that we do is just because of pen space, and also that once they figure out who's going to be the dominant bull, they end up getting along. They only battled it out for about an hour, and then they tired themselves out, and then they kind of just became friends after that. But we put them together for pen space. Long story short, you only have so many pens, and we got to maximize each one. And then Albert's right over there, but he ended up winning the battle. And then here's Frank right here. Anyways, one of the other questions we were getting a lot lately is about our herd and about the red Angus versus black Angus cows. And I'll let you go over that.
Well, I guess back to the beginning of our beef herd. In 1992, my dad decided it was time to be done milking cows, so we sold the dairy herd off. And he originally, that same fall, then he bought a herd of mostly black Angus cross cattle, and we went with that for a number of years. We had some limousine in there at one time. I think we did shorthorn once with bulls, but the base was always black Angus, and that's what we were told by the beef producers. Oh, you got to have black Angus. Everybody wants black Angus, so that's the way you should go. So that's what we did, and they are the Angus Association has done probably the best selling of themselves like anything ever has. I mean, when they've got everybody convinced that it's got to be black Angus burger at a restaurant now, no one ever gave that a thought before. They are high quality cattle, there's no doubt, but there's a lot of other high quality breeds out there as well that were around forever. So we switched to the red Angus mainly, and that's what Frank is. And then a couple years ago, and we really like the red Angus. They're just more docile in general. They're a little easier to have around. And I like that a lot because we can't afford to have someone get hurt or get pushed around by a bull. And some of our black Angus bulls over the years, they were kind of mean, to be quite frank. We've never had a problem with the red Angus. They've just been awesome, and they put on weight well. We got nice calves from them. Just the temperament is what we really like the most. A couple of years ago, we decided we wanted to just change things up a little bit, so we went back to the old Hereford. So we're on our second Hereford bull now, and that's what Albert is. And we really like the Herefords as well. We always did, but for many years you were discounted for producing Hereford calves to the sort of buyers that we were kind of marketing our cattle toward. So we tried to stay away from it, but now we've kind of come around to, we're gonna raise what we want and what we're comfortable with and what we like, and it works out just well, or just fine, I should say. So we started with the black Angus, we switched over the years, and now we're probably gonna stay with the red Angus base and the Hereford mixed in there real heavily is what my intention is at this point. But things can change. For now, that's what we really like. Yeah, so that answers that question. That's what we're doing. What was the other question you had with, just keeping the bulls together. like Jack said, it's just a matter of space primarily when we put them together. But also, the fact is the two bulls that we run have to work together out here with the herd. They have to get along, and they're gonna. They just, like Jack said, after an hour, everything settled down. They were basically laying on top of each other or side by side that night, and then they eat together all the time. There was no issues after that with them at all, and there won't be going forward. It's just more or less that was sort of a playing thing that you saw. Fun to watch, but it's more important to them than it is to us. Once they get settled in, everything is good, and that happens every time we introduce a new bull. It'll happen too if you introduce a new cow to the herd. If you bring in a new cow here, first, we buy one for some reason, which we rarely do, but they'll push each other around. The boss cow will fight with them, and that goes on for an hour or whatever, and then they all kind of lose interest. So, but we're checking on our calves right now. You can see they're putting on good weight. They're looking good. They like the grass. It's a beautiful day out here today. Getting a little dry, so the grass isn't as replenished as it should be. But we just keep moving pastures around, moving them from pasture to pasture. And then if need be, we'll supply them with hay, but we haven't had to do that yet. And somebody asked too on there, how much land do you have? And without getting specific, we basically farm just a couple hundred acres. We are a small farm in today's way of thinking about farms. We do farm the same land that my great-grandfather bought and farmed in 1890. It's always been in the family, always been farmed, so that's kind of special to us. You don't see that all the time. Although in our area there are quite a few that we have many friends that are century farms as well. But you can see tonight they're all very calm. They're just wandering around. Supper time for some of the calves. Right there. And they're curious, but they're not curious enough to come up and be scratched yet. And in our case out here with our herd, you can pretty much tell. Last year we had a different Hereford bull and Frank's first year with the cows. So of these calves, if you notice some of the solid bodied, whether they be black or solid red, they most likely are from Frank. And if you see any with white heads or markings on their heads, like this one right behind us here, Jack, is a good example. That would be what they'd call a red baldy. And he would be from our last Hereford bull, who also was a big guy. He was a little bit bigger than Albert, actually. When we shipped him last year, I believe he weighed 2,100 pounds, something like that. So he was a big guy. Also very tame, great bull to have around, and gave us some great calves. We were very pleased with him. And that's what we anticipate with Albert as well. He's built very similar. But the different breeds make up is the reason for the different colorings, obviously. And Frank's had enough for a while. How you doing? Someone's getting close. Just a beautiful July evening. And these calves were all born well, what, the second week of April we started or so? Something like that, eh? First week of April? No, it was March. It was late March, last week of March. And they pretty much were all born within a 2-month window. Now with the timing that we put the bulls out this year, we're going to be looking at, we tried to back that up a little bit so we're not fighting the weather so much in the spring. It can get pretty nasty if you have a late spring, as we did this year. And that can hurt. You can lose calves, they get sick, you have troubles. And so this year we waited an extra month basically to put the bulls out. So we're going to be right about April, I think it's about April 17th is due date for the earliest of the calves. And then they all should be following again within that 2-month period, hopefully.
So, I think that's just about all the comments that we're going to answer today.
Them are the ones we can remember.
Maybe next time we'll write them down. But, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.
Nice deer.